wish Coach Hay luck in his final game of the season against Yale University. Starting lineup this evening for the Bulldogs of Yale: number 4, a junior at middle hitter, Matt Caligari. Number 5, Russ Martin, a senior. He's an outside hitter. Number 7, Paul Yoder. He's the captain of the team. He's a senior, and he's what's called the power hitter. Number 9, Chris Welch. He's a senior. He's the setter for the team. Number 16 and co-captain Matt Singer. He's a senior power hitter. And at number 21, Mike Walsh, a sophomore, and he's the middle hitter for the Yale University Bulldogs. The starting lineup this evening for the Chiefs of Springfield College: number 3, Todd Waltsak. He's a senior spiker at 5'11", out of Seagirt, New Jersey. Number 10, Sergio Rivera. He's a 6-foot setter. He's just a freshman. Number 11, Mike Cole, a junior spiker at 6'1". Number 12, Sergio Sanjenis. He's a freshman spiker at 6'1". Number 13, Scott Miller. He's a senior spiker at 6'4", out of Newark, New Jersey. And number 17, Brian Barry. He's a junior at 6'2" spiker right here locally from Wilbraham, Massachusetts. We're about to get started here. Serving for the Bulldogs of Yale, number 9, Chris Walsh. And we're underway. There's a set to Scott Miller. Scott Miller powers the ball off of the block. Springfield College now to serve. Serving for Springfield, number 10, Sergio Rivera. Short set that time by number 9, Chris Welch. Was not high enough for the spiker, and he hits the ball down into the net. We'll find this evening that number 10, Sergio Rivera for Springfield College, will be handling the ball most of the time, wouldn't you say, Lynn?
That's right. Springfield plays a 5-in-1 offense. That means that they have 1 setter and 5 spikers. So Sergio will have every second hit that's played by Springfield.
Springfield College 1, Yale University 0. There we got to see that time Sergio trying to get to the ball to get the setup, but it was just too far away from him to handle. 1-1.
In a situation like that, Sergio might want to call for help if the pass is too far away from him.
Set by Welsh. Over to number 7, Paul Yoder. Saved by Springfield. Again, Sergio with the set. This time cross court. Little dink shot. And referee Patrick Johnson calls Yale University for touching the net. We get to see that one again.
You'll see here the set comes too close to the net, and Mike Cole just has to try and tip it over. He comes down and touches the net on the way down.
Back to live action. Good save that time by Todd Waltsak of Springfield. Set by Walsh. A short set that time to number 4, Matt Caligari, and Caligari spikes the ball down to Springfield side of the floor. Nice set that time by Caligari. Set by Sergio. That time over to number 12, Sergio Sanjenis, and Sanjenis powers the ball down on the Yale side of the court.
It's a beautiful set by Sergio. It's called the shoot set. And watch it here. It stays very low to the net and just shoots straight out.
You find a lot of faking going on by the people who are not going to hit the ball to try to draw the defense off. Because if the defense knows where the ball is going to go, they'll try to get as many people in front to block that as they can.
That's exactly true. They want to keep the middle hitter in the middle as long as possible.
Ball was hit long that time by Sanjenis of Springfield College. Springfield 2, Yale 1. Now serving for Yale, number 5, Russ Martin, a senior outside hitter.
Russ is just back off of injury.
So step by Rivera. That time Brian Barry plows the ball out of bounds. Score is tied at 2. Again, Martin to serve. Set by Rivera. Again, the ball was hit long that time by Barry. Barry can't seem to find a range right now. Again, Rivera. That time, number 12, Sergio Sanjenis powers the ball into the 2-man block, and it falls on the Yale side of the net. Good, hard, strong serve that time. Walsh with the short set. And number 21, Mike Walsh, sophomore, powers the ball out of bounds. Brian Barry with the serves. Miller with the bump. Set that time to number 12, Sanjenis. Sanjenis finds the open spot.
That's that short middle set again. It doesn't give the defense enough time to react to the ball. Nice pass. His nice low set. See him coming in. He has to be ready for that pass before it's set.
Back to live action while we were watching that replay. Walsh from Yale got called for a lift by referee Kathy Ferracio. Walsh again with this little dink shot and catches the defense asleep that time. Good play by the setter from Yale.
And what you watch the tip here. Nice tip. He has to dive in for the ball. You got to be low at all times in order to get that tip over the net.
Set by Rivera. That time Sanjenis powers the ball into the block and it comes right back at him and falls on the Springfield College side of the net.
Springfield is looking a little slow right now. They're not staying low, not reacting very quickly.
Paul Yoder serving for Yale. That time referee Kathy Ferracio called Sergio Rivera for a lift. The ball must be clearly struck or batted in order to be in play.
It's a judgment call by the referee, the lift, and a lot of times you'll be able to hear a bad set.
Walsh with the short set. And referee Patrick Johnson and the lines judge calls it in play. Ball hits the line.
Great hit right on the line there. Mike Cole should have stayed a little bit back further to the line.
Nice work that time by our Continental camera people. Miller with the dig shot, a little long, played off the net by Sergio Rivera. Set to Walsh. Walsh takes it up cross court. It's a good save that time by number 3, Waltsak. And Springfield just can't handle the power hit down the sideline.
That was Mike Cole trying a 10-foot line spike. A back row spiker can spike the ball if they stay behind the 10-foot line. Unfortunately, Mike couldn't keep it in bounds.
Good play that time by Springfield. Waltsak actually mishit the ball and was headed out of bounds, but the ball was saved by number 11, Mike Cole, and it was taken over the net. Coach Hay calls timeout with the score, Yale University 8, Springfield College 5.
Now this is a great save. Runs out of bounds. Mike Cole gets the ball. Brian Berry tries to pass the ball back to the front line, but unfortunately it goes over the net. Sets up the opposing team for a great hit.
Here we get to see Coach Hay in his last year coaching here at Springfield College. And actually right now it seems that his assistant coach, Carol Ford, is doing a majority of the talking.
Yeah, Carol is a real good assistant coach. She knows the game very well. She was a player at Penn State and is USCBA All-American. United States Volleyball Association Open Division.
What do you think about her chances of succeeding Coach Hay as head coach here?
Right now it's up in the air. They're not sure if it's going to be a part-time position or not at present.
Serving for Yale, number 7, Paul Yoder. Set to Sergio. Sergio takes it up. Good block that time by Yale. 4 hits that time. Even though the ball does appear to be out of bounds, you may run out of bounds to play the ball just as long as it passes over the net in between the uprights. Cole with the dig. Sergio takes it a quick up and over. Blocked by Yale. Cole takes it up to number 3, Todd Waltsak, and Waltsak powers the ball down into the net.
Now watch Sergio, number 10. He's in the front row now, so he can jump up and hit the ball over the net. When he's in the back row, he cannot jump up and hit the ball over the net, but in the front row, he can fake and jump and hit the ball over.
Cross-court set that time to number 12, Sanjenis.
Right over the block, just far enough over the block so that it misses the blockers. You'll see it here. Just high enough to get over the blockers, but the back row players are a little bit too far back and can't get up to get it.
Back to live action. Walsh takes the ball up. Cole with the save. Sanjenis takes it up. Walsh again with the set. Little dink shot that time by number 16, Matt Singer. And Todd Waltsak that time touches the net and goes underneath. You must stay on your side of the net If we can get a shot, there's a white line that runs down the center of the court, which divides the court in half.
Here it is. You'll see Todd go up. He comes down, and there's a white line he cannot go under. He hits the net, goes over that line. You can step on the line, but you cannot go over it.
The time the ball was hit out of bounds by number 4, Matt Cagliari for Yale. Springfield College 5, Yale University 10.
There's that line right there.
Number 16 that time, Matt Singer powers the ball out of bounds. Excuse me, that was touched that time by a Springfield College player. Welch serving for Yale. Set by Welch, short set that time, partially blocked by Springfield. Ding shot by Springfield. And that time, number 21, Mike Walsh, was called for a lift by referee Patrick Johnson. Now serving for Springfield, Sergio Rivera. Not a very deep serve by Rivera this time. Back set by Yale. Welch again with the set. Good save that time by Waltsak. Short set again. Waltsak again with the save. Cross court set to number 5 that time, Russ Martin. And Russ Martin powers the ball right through the Springfield College block.
That's one of the hardest things for a back row player to do, is to dig up a ball that's been deflected off the blocker's hands.
Waltsak with the dig. And number 17, Brian Barry powers the ball cross court but out of bounds. Trying to find that open spot in the middle of the floor, and he just couldn't find it. Serving for Yale, number 16, Matt Singer. That time, number 12, Sergio Sanjenis got away with a lucky shot. He went for the dig and almost set the ball up for Yale, and the Yale University player hit it right back into the net.
It was actually a great serve by the Yale server. A floating serve. Sergio had a real hard time returning it.
Ball out of bounds that time by Chris Walsh. I don't think Walsh knew what he really wanted to do with that ball, either set it up or take it over the net, try to find a little dink shot space there. Good serve that time by Scott Miller. Scott has a real tough overhand knuckleball type of serve that floats, dives. It's almost like a knuckleball in baseball.
That ball right there just seemed to drop all of a sudden. The defender had no reaction time to get to it because it was so quick of a drop.
Substitution now for Yale University. Number 10, Mark Ackerman, into the ball game, replacing Mike Walsh. Another substitution. Walsh back into the ball game, replacing Ackerman.
Walsh is another player that's just come off of the injury list.
Set by Rivera, cross court. And the ball was hit out of bounds by Yale. Yale 11, Springfield College 7. Again, a substitution. Number 17, John Lowett, replacing number 4, Matt Cagliari.
In men's volleyball, you're only allowed 6 substitutions. So if a game goes long and you need those substitutions, say a setter coming in for a spiker in the front row, a spiker coming in for a setter, excuse me, in the front row, then you have to count your substitutions very carefully.
Good shot that time by Brian Barry of Springfield College. The dig shot by Yale University floated over the net and set Brian up, and he just powered the ball right down, as we see here in the replay. Again, the same thing happening. This time, number 12, Sergio Sanjenis. The dig was just a little bit too long, and Sanjenis powers the ball down. And Yale University's coaches Cindy Schindel calls timeout, with Yale leading 11-9.
Both teams having a very difficult time, it seems, with their passing on the serve. The very important thing to get down is the pass on the serve. You put too many balls over the net like that, and it's going to come right back at you very quickly.
You can't afford to set that other team up.
That's right. That's exactly what it is, setting the other team up. Middle blockers love that set.
I'm sure Springfield College would like to win this game for Coach Hay, seeing how it is his last go-around here at Springfield College.
That's true.
Springfield College trailing here by 1, 11-10. Mike Cole serving for Springfield. Takes it down the right side of the floor. Short set block, nice by Sanjenis and Brian Barry. Cole again to serve. Score tied at 11. And that time, number 17, John Lowett for Yale, just could not handle the serve from Cole.
Mike Cole, another server with a floating serve.
Again, Yale substitution. Matt Coglieri coming in for number 17, John Lowett. Ball seems to dive every time Cole serves the ball. Good save that time by Miller. There's a cross-court set. Inadvertent whistle that time by referee Patrick Johnson. Will play the point again. Here we get to see a good shot of Mike Cole. Tough deep serve by Cole. Set by Walsh. Again, that time number 9, Chris Welch was called for a lift.
It's hard to do that one-handed set. It can be done, but it's a judgment call by the referee, and they called it a lift.
The ball momentarily coming to rest in the palm of the hand. Again, Coach Schindel for Yale calls timeout. Here we get to see the Springfield College huddle.
Springfield just has to get together a little bit more. Once their blocking comes alive, the rest of their game will come alive. They need a little bit more better spiking and passing.
I think the key to both of those things is number 13, Scott Miller. Scott seems to be their main blocker and their main spiker.
Yes, he is their main blocker. He's one of their main spikers and definitely a key to bringing the team back to life.
Again, Mike Cole serving for Springfield. A low driving serve. There's the back set that time. Again, Springfield blocks it. Nice save by Walsh. Cross court. Good save. Nice try on the dig that time by Mike Cole, but it was just too hard to handle, and it goes out of bounds.
In a case like that, a real hard spike, the player not only has to react to the ball in that position, but also has to give a little bit with the ball so that it doesn't return back over the net.
Scott Miller takes the ball over it. Not deep enough. Little dink that time. Referee Kathy Ferracio calling Springfield College for 4 hits that time. Number 5, Russ Martin serving for Yale. Sergio Rivera takes it. And number 12, Sergio Sanjenis powers the ball down for Springfield College. Here we get to see.
There you go. You'll see a beautiful hit by Sergio. Angles it down to the right, to left, and right in front of the defender. Defender's too far off the line in that situation.
The 2 young men from Puerto Rico that time hooking up to get a point for Springfield College. Again, number 9, Chris Welch was called for a lift by referee Kathy Ferracio. Mr. Welch is having a real tough time tonight. This is about his 4th lift he's been calling his first game already. Springfield 14, Yale 12.
In a situation like this, the captain can question the call, but on a judgment call, the referee will most likely never change their mind.
Short set that time by Welch to number 21, Mike Walsh, and Walsh finds the open spot.
That there was a set for, here you'll see it, a set, and that's almost a power dink. He kind of pushes the ball more than hits it.
Yoda serving for Yale. And number 12, Sanjenis, powers the ball down into the block.
Sanjenis using the block, trying to wipe off the block so they hit their hands, but directs it out of bounds at the same time.
Sanjenis serving for Springfield. Set to Singer. Again the set to Singer. Little dink shot. Good save by Waltsak. And Waltsak was called for a lift. That was a good dig that time by Waltsak.
That was a great dive by Waltsak.
Set to Rivera to Miller. Miller powers the ball into the block, and it's out of bounds. Todd Waltsak serving for Springfield. 14-13, Springfield College in his first game. And Sergio Rivera, the setter, probably the smallest man on the floor, finds the open spot for a spike. Springfield winning the first game, 15-13.
Springfield coming alive at the end of the game to come back and win it.
They were trailing there for a while by a few points, and once again, they came alive. I think the blocking game got them back into this more than anything else. We'll pause for this message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with the second game in the best of 5 here at Blake Arena on the campus of Springfield College.
New England Health and Racket has some great figures for you. Our clubs in Springfield, East Longmeadow, and Enfield have the facilities to give you the figure you want. Computerized equipment and aerobics classes to melt away unwanted pounds and inches. Free weights and Nautilus to build and tone muscles. Tanning booths, add that healthy glow. You'll also get swimming, tennis, racquetball, saunas, and much more for as little as $7 a week at New England Health and Racket. Now those are some great figures.
Welcome back to Springfield College, ladies and gentlemen, where Springfield College has defeated Yale University in the first game in the best of 5, 15-13. This is Tyrone Sullivan along with Lynn Cuddy, and we're bringing you tonight's action. Here we get to see the Springfield College huddle with Coach Tom Hay in his last year of coaching after 22 seasons here on the campus of Springfield College. In that first game, Springfield, after trailing by a bit, did get to come back and finally come off with a 15-13 victory. Again, I think their blocking and their serving helped them out a whole lot.
That's right. They're starting to come together as a team now. I think a big important part now is going to be controlling that pass so the setter can get it and set the ball.
Like we said before, this is the best of 5. Here we get to see Springfield College and Sergio Rivera, the freshman from Puerto Rico, serving for Springfield. We'll find that this young man here will handle the ball more than anybody else on the floor for Springfield College.
Touches the ball on every single play. Should be the second person to touch the ball on every play. If he's not, he can call for help and somebody else will set the ball for him.
Short serve set that time by number 9, Chris Welch. The ball is powered out of bounds. Springfield College 1, Yale 0. Set that time to number 5, Russ Martin. And Sergio Rivera has it go off of his body, out of bounds.
It's a difficult position right down the line. You're in real close so that it could go either way, over your head, up in front of you.
Matt Singer serving for Yale. Set, cross court. Off the block, good save. Try to dink by Yale. Set by Rivera, and he tries to cross up the defense by taking the ball directly over the net. Again, Rivera with the save. Cross court set to Mike Cole. Mike Cole finds the open spot near the end line of the Yale court.
That's really one of the first spikes that Mike Cole has had today, and he is one of the better spikers on the team. Just powers it down to the floor.
Scott Miller serves the ball long that time, out of bounds. One of the few service errors that Springfield has made today. Cole with the dig over to Rivera. Rivera back to Cole. Cole takes it up directly at number 9, Chris Welch. And Welch can't handle the Cole spike.
Welch was cheating up this time. Watch him when the ball comes down. He's cheating up on the sideline, too far up, and takes it in the face rather than down lower if he'd been farther back.
Cole with the serve. Again, Chris Welch called for the lift. Tough knuckleball serve by Cole. Welch with the set. Little dink that time by number 21, Mike Walsh. And the ball hit out of bounds that time by Matt Singer. Singer, co-captain for Yale. Again, Cole with the serve over to Welch. Welch takes it to Yoder, the team captain. Little dink shot by Welch, but saved by Rivera. Sanjenis with the hit. And at time number 7, Yoder was called for being on the net. Cannot touch the net in this game. You must stay off of the net and you cannot step over the line that's directly underneath of the net. That time Mike Cole serves it long. Springfield College 4, Yale 0. Russ Martin serving for Yale. Set by Rivera across court to Waltsak. Waltsak powers the ball down, and number 4, Mike Cagliari, can't handle the spike.
Here it is. You'll see Todd Waltsak come up for the hit. He's almost at the 10-foot line, so has to pull it down. The back row player was in position, just not quick enough to get the ball.
Welch with a set to Yoder. Saved by Scott Miller. Miller over to Waltsak. And Waltsak powers the ball down into the block. Substitution now for Yale coming into the ball game. Number 12, Myron Chu, replacing number 5, Russ Martin. This is Chu's first time into the ball game tonight. Long serve that time by Brian Barry. Service error, Springfield College. That's their second in this game. Chu to serve for Yale. Yale with the service error himself. Ball was clearly passed over the net on the serve. You're not allowed a second chance.
Serving such an important part of this game. A lot of people just try and get the ball over the net, but if it's used as a strategic tool, it can be a very effective offensive play.
The referee, Patrick Johnson, here is checking the rotation or the alignment of Yale University to make sure everyone is in proper position. Sergio Sanjenis to serve for Springfield College. Walsh with the set. Good save that time by Mike Cole. Rivera with the set cross court to Waltsak. Waltsak hits the ball off of the block and it still finds support. Springfield 6, Yale 0.
Here you'll see Scott begin the fake. Todd go up for the spike, and it catches the corner of the back row player. A little bit out of position, but it was off the block, so it was hard to detect.
Substitution for Yale, number 10, Mark Ackerman into the ball game, replacing Chris Welch. Good serve that time by Sanjenis to Springfield College. Tough knuckleball by Sanjenis. Most of the Springfield College players seem to serve that tough knuckleball.
Yeah, they have 4 of their starters have knuckleball floating serve, and 2 topspin servers.
Good block that time by Waltsak and Scott Miller. Springfield, they go up. The power hitter takes the ball into the block and it falls back on the Yale University side, and they can't handle it. Springfield College 8, Yale 0. Cross court. Again, the ball is blocked by Scott Miller, Springfield College.
Springfield with that blocking game. Scott in the middle is an excellent blocker, and if they get the 2 blockers together, they're unbeatable.
Sanjenis with the serve. Good dig that time. Little dink shot by Waltsak. Set by Ackerman. The ball that time was powered off of Scott Miller out of bounds. Yale University to serve. Serving for Yale, number 21, Mike Walsh. Here's the set. Ball was hit off the block, and the block, although it did fall on the Springfield College side of the net, fell out of bounds. Here we get to see a good shot of Scott Miller. It's set by Ackerman. That time the ball goes into the block, but falls on Springfield College side. Springfield College 9, Yale 0. Ackerman serving. Set by Rivera across court. Mike Cole powers the ball into the block, but it comes right back at him.
You notice that when a spiker goes up to spike the ball, watch it here, all the players cave in around him in case the ball does come back off the block. Unfortunately, you can't tell how hard it's going to rebound, and it went over the head, Brian's head that time.
While we were away that time, Reggie Miller powers the ball into the block, getting the ball back for Springfield College. Serving for Springfield, Sergio Rivera. Rivera with the set, cross court to Mike Cole. Mike Cole takes it off of the block and it's out of bounds. Springfield College 10, Yale 1. Rivera again with the serve. Set by Ackerman. Little dink that time by Matt Chu. Again, Scott Miller with the block. Miller gets so high over the net that he can't get the ball around him, through him, or over him.
Very tall player, very long arms. When he gets up there, almost all his arms are over the net. So if the ball clears the net within 3 feet, it's going to be hit by his arm.
Scott Miller stands in at 6'4". He's a senior on this team this year. He's out of Newark, New Jersey. I venture to say he's one of the team leaders.
Yep, that's true.
Time out, this time called by the Yale coach, Cindy Schindel. Springfield College quite confident right now, leading 11-1 in the second game in the best of 5 after winning the first game, which was actually pretty close, 15-13. Yale substitution into the game now, number 17, John Lowett, replacing Paul Yoder.
It can get very dangerous out there if the floor is wet from people diving or whatnot, so they do have to clean the floor up every once in a while.
Once you're on the floor either. I think that time some of the Yale ball players were standing on the floor drinking water during that timeout, or even perspiration, because you do work up quite a sweat in this game. It's not your basic everyday picnic volleyball.
Not by any means.
That time it was tipped by a Yale ball player after being powered down by Todd Waltsak. Springfield leading 12-1. Sergio Rivera serving for Springfield. Good low diving serve. Cross court. Rivera with the save. Again with the save that time by Todd Waltsak, but it's out of bounds. Volleyball, one of the more popular games played worldwide these days. In the Olympics, some countries even have it as their national sport. Set to Chu. Rivera with the save, and Sanjenis can't get it over.
Springfield has to watch out. They tend to get a little bit sloppy when they get a lead like this, and if they let that happen, then it'll be a ball game in no time.
Singer with the serve. There's a set by Rivera. Brian Barry powers the ball down off of a Yale University block.
Here comes the hit. It goes down. Good angle. This player should be back, not as far up as he is, and the other player over.
Ackerman with the short set. Saved by Rivera. Barry with the set. That time over to Mike Cole. And Mike Cole mishits the ball.
Set too close to the net that time. Hard for Mike to really hit at the ball. Had to try and wipe it off onto the other team.
Lift that time by Rivera. Springfield College 12, Yale 3. Dig by Scott Miller. Cross court set. That time Sanjenis is called for touching the net and going under the line. Mike Cole with a serve way out of bounds. Service error number 3 for Springfield College in this game. Myron Chu serving for Yale. The dig by Miller, set by Rivera. Good play that time by both teams. Off the net, good save that time by Barry. Cross to Todd Waltsak. Again saved by Barry, but this time out of bounds. Good reaction that time by Brian Barry, Springfield College. Chu again with the serve. Dig by Miller, set by Rivera. To Sanjenis, and Sanjenis powers the ball down. Good play, good teamwork that time by Springfield College.
Nice set and nice spike by the Sergios. Here's the pass by Sergio Rivera and a hit by Sergio Sanjenis.
Set by Ackerman. And that time, number 21, Mike Walsh, takes the ball out of bounds. Springfield 13, Yale University 4. Brian Barry with the serve. The set by Ackerman. Cross court to John Lowett. That time Springfield College called for being on the net. Lowett to serve for Springfield. Here we get to see referee Kathy Ferracio. Dig by Barry to set to Rivera. Over to Sergio Sanjenis. And Sanjenis can't get the ball through the block. Point for Yale.
It's a nice set by Rivera, but a lot of times the nice high sets will be so easy to be detected by the opposing team that they can put up a good block.
Give those blockers that much more time to get in front of the ball. As there, Ackerman with the set over to 16. Matt Singer. Matt Singer puts it down. Timeout, Springfield College. Coach Hay trying to more or less break the momentum that Yale seems to have had. They've scored the last five points here.
That's right, and a lot of teams will tend to get lazy if they get a lead, like Springfield did at 12 to, what was it, 2 at one time?
Right.
And now it's 13 to 6, so there is a comeback coming on here by the Yale Bulldogs.
Again, we get to see the huddle Springfield College with Coach Carol Ford talking her offensive and defensive strategy.
Consider Springfield has a 5-1 offense. 5 people on the team can spike. Well, as one person sets. They have a man-back defense. That means when they are on defense, one person is at the back line, and the others tend to form a circle. The weakness of this being the center. So if another team was to look for a weakness, they would either dump to the center or try and hit to the center.
Maybe later on, if we can get a shot, you'll see actually Springfield College calling plays by putting a hand behind the back, signaling with 1 or 2 fingers the type of play they want to run. Back set that time to Waltsak. Good set by Rivera to Waltsak on a back set, and Waltsak just powers the ball down. Waltsak, a 5'11" senior out of Seagirt, New Jersey. Sergio Sanjenis with the serve for Springfield. Did you see Reggie Miller's eyes light up that time when that dig came too long?
That's right.
Cross-court set to Matt Singer. Good save by Sanjenis. Over to Sergio Rivera. Back to Waltsak. Again, Rivera takes the ball over, trying to catch the defense asleep. Sergio just ate that ball right up. Again, the dig was too long, and he powered the ball down. Setter doesn't get a chance to spike too often, but when he does, he takes full advantage.
That's right. With this type of offense, Sergio doesn't get to hit a lot of the balls unless they're oversets.
Good reaction that time by Miller. Set by Rivera. Rivera takes it over. Ball was actually out of bounds, but it was played by Matt Pagliari. And Springfield College wins the second game, 15 to 6. I'm sure Coach Cindy Sindel wasn't too happy with that play that time.
No, it's going to be very close whether or not it was going out, so he had to go for it. You'll watch it here. As it comes over the net, now Sergio is going to make a decision whether he's going to set the ball or turn it over. He's got to make a real quick decision and make it look like he's going to set the ball and actually tip it over the net.
With that, Springfield College winning the second game in the best of 5, 15 to 16. We'll pause for a brief message.
You're 19, you dropped out, and good jobs are hard to find.
But I can learn a skill. I know I can.
Then call toll-free to Mass Jobs. It's working. You're on welfare, a single mother with little work experience.
There's so much I could do. I just need a job.
Then call toll-free to Mass Jobs. It's working. Your company is expanding, but the jobs are hard to fill.
Look, if I could find trained people, I'd hire them.
Then call toll-free to Mass Jobs. It's working.
at Blake Arena on the campus of Springfield College, where Springfield has just won the second game in the best of 5, 15-16. They lead the match 2 games to none. Here we get to see the referee for the evening, Kathy Ferracio, and the other referee, Patrick Johnson, doing an outstanding job here this evening. In that second game, Springfield seemed to dominate. They really came alive in that second game. Their blocking, their serving, their offense, it all seemed to click in that second game.
That's right, they're getting it together. It seems like a whole different ball than the first game.
Serving for Yale, number 10, Ackerman. Reggie Miller takes it up. Good save that time by Yale. Ackerman takes it over. Set by Rivera over to Mike Cole. Mike Cole powers it down, saved by Yale. That time, Sergio Rivera called for a carry. Again, the ball must be clearly hit or batted. Ackerman serving for Yale. The dig by Miller, set by Rivera. Over to Cole. Cole hits it into the block. Good save by Yale. Ackerman with the set cross court to Singer. Singer finds the empty spot.
That's the spot I was talking about. With an off-speed hit like that, it's going to drop right in the middle, and that back row center player has to react in time to get to it.
Again, Ackerman with the serve. Little lack of communication that time between Scott Miller and number 3, Todd Waltsak. Very vital ingredient in volleyball that you have to have that communication amongst your players.
Especially on the serve. Your back 2 players are going to get most of the serves, return most of the serves, but if it's close, the front row player does have to take it.
It's what you would refer to that time by Mike Cole as a power dink, more or less. He saw that open spot. The 2 players came up to the net, and a big open spot behind him. He just found that spot and put it down. Ackerman went to set, back set that time to 16, Matt Singer. Mike Cole takes it up, and number 12, Myron Chu, can't handle it. Here we get to see right here, we were talking about earlier, number 4 that time, Matt Cagliari calling the play for Yale University.
And that was the play right there. You just saw last play is a 1 set to the middle hitter.
Ball hit the rafters here at Blake Arena. Unfortunately, the ceiling is about a foot too low for NCAA championship games, but Springfield still will play their games here. A little design flaw in this building, I would imagine. We've been here at times where the ball is actually going above the rafters, over the rafter, but it hasn't touched anything and come back down, which actually means the ball is still in play.
That's right. You can play it if it doesn't touch anything, even though it has gone above the rafters.
Matt Singer serving for Yale. Rivera takes it right over the net. And that time it was hit by number 12, Myron Chu, but it was a little mishit. Springfield 2, Yale 3 in this 3rd game of the match, best of 5. Scott Miller serving, tough knuckleball serve that time. Ackerman with the dig. Mike Cole for Springfield with the save. Over to Sanjenis.
Ball never cleared the net on that play. It was a 4 hit.
Matt Cagliari serving. Rivera. And that time Waltsak takes the ball, hits it into net, actually taking off from the 10-foot line. And he just didn't get all of the ball that time.
And the back row player probably should have bumped the ball over the net instead of tried to hit it.
Mike Cole takes it over to Sanjenis. Sanjenis takes it up and it actually goes off of the block, and the players in the block kind of lost track of the ball and falls right in front of their face.
Seem to be losing a little bit of communication that they had in the previous game.
Mike Cole serving for Springfield to Ackerman. Ackerman with the short set that time to number 21, Mike Walsh, and Mike Walsh does a good job by powering the ball down.
Here you'll see a great hit coming in for a short. That's a 1 set in the middle. Springfield cheating up from the sidelines, looking for a dink rather than a spike.
Sanjenis takes it up, saved by Sergio Rivera over to Waltsak. Waltsak powers the ball down. Springfield College ball. Brian Barry serving for Springfield.
Brian Barry has a top spin serve.
Back set that time to Chu. Rivera Over to Sanjenis. Sanjenis with a little dink. Saved that time by John Lowett. Again, Rivera with the back set. That time, a little confusion on the part of Springfield College.
That was probably Rivera's fault. You should never back set the ball when you're running forward, at least Coach Hayes' philosophy. Makes a very difficult set, and at that time, Brian Berry didn't know that it was coming to him.
Number 17, John Lowett serving for Yale, and he serves it long. Sergio Sanjenis serving for Springfield. Tough low serve that time. It could not be handled by Marion Chu of Yale. Again, a little lack of communication amongst the Yale players.
That's a tough spot. Just about 2 feet behind the front row players and too far ahead for the back row players. It's a real communication problem.
Into the game now for Yale, number 11, Anton Layoff. He replaces Matt Chu.
Mike Cole that time trying to set a ball in the back row. Probably should have been a bump instead of a set.
Mike Walsh serving. Service error by Walsh from Yale. Yale can't afford to have any service errors at this point. Waltsak with the serve for Springfield. Tough knuckleball floater. Ackerman with the set. Tried to dink the ball over, but it was saved by Springfield College and caught the Yale University people off guard.
Yep, Yale got caught in transition. They dinked the ball over the net. Didn't expect it to be dinked right back over to him.
Waltsak with the serve. Lay off to Ackerman. That time good block by Springfield. Set to Scott Miller. Scott Miller hits the ball directly at Layoff. And referee Kathy Ferracio calls Layoff for a lift. Pretty tough when the ball is traveling 80, 90 miles an hour and you try to stop it. Ackerman with a little dink that time. Springfield looking for the set. Caught them off guard. He dinks it right over everybody, right to the open spot.
Okay, now you're going to see Springfield's up here. They're in position, but nobody reacts. They all wait for the other person to react to dig up the ball.
Mike Cole takes the ball over. Ackerman with the back set to Layoff. And at that time, the ball was blocked by Scott Miller, and Mike Cole was finally touched by a Yale University ball player. Timeout, Yale. With the score of 4-5, favor Springfield College. Coach Sindal from Yale University trying to get a team into the ball game just a little bit more right now. They haven't been playing a bad ball game. They've been hanging pretty close to Springfield College right now, but they haven't been able to get that lead like they had in the first game.
Just to mention, Yale is a club team. It's not an NCAA team. It's not sponsored by the school. They're a club team of Yale students.
This is Coach Sindal's first year, I do believe. Yale comes into the season with a 10-8 record. Good serve that time by Sergio Rivera. And number 4, Matt Tagliari takes the ball down.
That was that quick one set. They signal each other for what kind of sets they're going to have, a 1, a 2, or a regular.
Singer with the serve. Cross court set by Rivera to Brian Barry, and Barry hits the ball long cross court and out of bounds. Score is tied at 5. Singer again with the serve. Back set that time to Scott Miller. Scott Miller takes it up, powers through the block, and hits Matt Singer in the chest. Scott Miller serving for Springfield College. Real good knuckleball that time. Saved by Ackerman over the Layoff, and Layoff takes it into the net. Springfield 6, Yale 5. You notice Miller stands way behind the service line. He's taking his time with the serve. Tough knuckleball. Would have been out of bounds, but it was played by Yale. Ackerman across court set that time to number 17. Lowett. It was It's hit into the block. It goes out of bounds.
Okay, here we're going to take a look at it. Scott's serve. You can almost see it move a little bit. It's going to go out of bounds. Not one of his better floating serves, but definitely a floating serve.
That's what it looks like from the Yale vantage point. The ball's coming right at you. Again, Continental camera people right on the job. Scott Miller again to serve. Springfield College 8, Yale 5. Good deep serve that time by Miller. Set by Ackerman. This time the ball was hit off of Scott Miller.
Miller should be back at that foul shot line of the basketball court instead of up on the top of the key in this situation.
Gives him more time to react to the ball. Lift that time called by referee Kathy Ferracio. Called it on Sergio Rivera. Cagliari serving for Yale. Serves it out of bounds. Now serving for Springfield College, number 11, Mike Cole, excuse me. Set by Ackerman, short set that time. Good move that time by number 21, Mike Walsh. He's a sophomore.
That's the weakness of the man-back defense, that center area. Had they been playing a man-up defense, things like tips and dinks would not work as well.
Mike Cole with the dig, Rivera with the set, over to Sanjenis. The two gentlemen from Puerto Rico once again click together and score for Springfield College. Brian Barry serving for Springfield. Net ball that time, service error again by Springfield. That's their fourth service error of this game. Yoder now serving for Yale. Sanjenis takes it up and down. Good set by Sergio Rivera to Sergio Sanjenis, and Sanjenis powers the ball down.
The two of them work together well. You see the set and the spike here. Both players playing between 8 and 10 years of experience coming into college.
Ball could not be handled that time by Matt Singer from Yale. Good serve that time by Sanjenis. Springfield College 9, Yale 6. Again, Sanjenis with a tough serve. Ball goes up into the rafters, and we were talking about this earlier. Up the rafters, over the rafters, and back down, but it's still in play because it never touched the rafters.
Kind of adds a little suspense to the game, wondering whether or not it's going to hit the rafters.
Also keeps the referee on their toes, too.
That's right.
It's pretty tough to see. Again, Yale coach Cindy Sindel calls timeout. Here we get to see some of the crowd, notables in the crowd, Vern Cox and Doug Parker, faculty members here at Springfield College. Good shot of the Yale hole. Number 10, Mark Ackerman, the setter for Yale. Number 21, Mike Walsh, he's just a sophomore. He's considered the middle hitter. Number 7, as you see, going back out on the floor, and team captain Paul Yoder. Sanjenis serving for Springfield. Springfield 10, Yale 6. Sanjenis again, one of those knuckleball type serves. Set by Ackerman, over to Singer. Again, Scott Miller and Sergio Rivera with the two-man block.
A lot of times they can predict where the ball is going to go. A lot of times a setter will be more comfortable with setting to a certain person.
Ackerman not happy with referee Kathy Ferracio at all. She called him for a lift.
He's been having a tough day today setting the ball. Has been called for numerous lifts.
Coach Sindel bringing in number 9, Chris Walsh, excuse me, and taking out Ackerman. She can give him a yellow card if he continues to voice his opinion. Short set. Todd Waltsak takes it up, good save that time. Sergio Rivera tries to power the ball up. Rivera at 6 feet out of Puerto Rico, again doesn't get to spike the ball too often, so every opportunity he gets, he's going to try to seize the times. Rivera with the set. Over to Scott Miller, good save by Sergio Sanjenis. Welch with the set. Rivera with the set to Miller. Good block that time by Yale. Rivera again over to Waltsak. Waltsak hits the ball through the block. Over to Welch. Welch takes it across to Singer. And Springfield College ball player called for being on the net. Springfield 12, Yale 7. Rivera with the set. And that time I think Todd Waltsak got away with something because he was actually over the line.
He was under the net with both feet over the line.
Maybe we'll get to see that one again. I don't know. Here we go.
Goes up, hits the ball, see both feet over the line there. The bottom referee didn't catch it that time.
Now serving for Yale, number 9, Chris Welch, the senior setter. Takes it over. Sergio dinks the ball over. Good save there by Yale. Welch with the set to Singer. Sergio Sanjenis takes it across the court to Mike Cole. Mike Cole powers the ball down, and it goes out of bounds off of number 21, Mike Walsh.
Mike Cole likes to go down the line. It's a tough spot to get. It's usually going to go over the middle. Here you'll see it down the line, over the side person's head, and too far to the side for the back middle person to get to.
If you happen to notice, Walsh playing on the left side of the floor, using his right hand. You actually want your right-handed hitter on the left side of the floor and your left-handed hitter on the right side of the floor, so you can go down the sideline or you can go across court. Springfield 13, Yale 7. Sergio Rivera serving for Springfield. Ball's taken over the net by Singer. Again the set. Chu. Waltsak with the dig to Rivera. Good move by Brian Barry that time. Good save by Yale. Barry with the set. And Coach Kathy Horacio called Brian Barry for a double hit.
A lot of time when the setter doesn't take the second hit, the other players have to take the set, and it's difficult for them to set the ball.
Nice set that time by Rivera to number 11, Mike Cole. And Mike just powered the ball right down the middle of the court.
Real difficult here. Real difficult for the opposing team to react to a ball hit that hard. Even he was real close to it, but just didn't have time to react to it.
Set by Walsh. Dink shot that time. Again, Rivera with the set. Little dink that time by Sergio Sanjenis, but the block was right there. The set was just a bit off. So he did the best that he could by trying to dink the ball over the net. Set by Rivera over to Mike Cole. Good save that time by Yale. Set by Chu. Blocked that time by number 17, Brian Barry, and number 12, 7 by Yale.
You'll see the hit here, and then the hit coming up here, it'll go off the block and then rebound back into the court. Now everybody's up onto the court, up close to the hitter, but it rebounds too far away.
Back to live action. Chu with a set that time, taking it over the net. Springfield College called for touching the net. Excuse me, Chu called for a lift. Substitution now for Yale into the game, number 5, Russ Martin, replacing number 4, Matt Cagliari. Now serving for Yale, number 12, Myron Chu. Set by Rivera over to Sanjenis. Sanjenis with the dink. Finds the open spot on the far side of the court.
Normally you do want to dink to the middle, but in that case they were trying to cheat in. You'll watch it here. They're cheating in here, and he dinks back out to the outside.
Service error that time by Springfield. They're 5th at this game. Yoda serving for Yale. Sanjenis powers the ball. It was tipped that time by a Yale ball player, according to Captain Horacio, and it's out of bounds.
In a situation like that, both referees may not see the touch, but the lines persons on either end of the court are allowed to call a touch ball, and the call by the referee will be overruled.
Well, Walsh with the set. And that time, Mike Walsh powers the ball, is tipped by Springfield College player.
Excuse me, a correction on the last statement. A referee will not be overruled, but a referee can take the linesman's judgment. The referee does have the final say.
Walsh serving for Yale. Rivera with the set. Over to Waltsak. Waltsak with an off-speed hit that time. Cannot be handled by Myron Chu from Yale. Springfield 13,
You'll
Yale
see
7.
the off-speed hit, and Yale also playing a man-back defense has a hard time getting the ball dumped into the middle.
That time, number 9, Chris Welch from Yale. Spikes the ball off an overset from Springfield.
Great hit by Yale, and all Springfield players out of position in that case.
Welch serving for Yale. Ball handled by Waltsak. That time Mike Cole can't clear the net, hits the ball down into the net. Springfield College 13, Yale 8. Yale mounting a mini comeback here. We go to the number 1 man, Scott Miller. Miller's ball is hit so hard that off the rebound it carries over the net and out of bounds. Rivera serving for Springfield. Yoder with the dig. There's the set. Again, Scott Miller with the block. He and Mike Cole doing one heck of a job on a 2-man block.
Sometimes if the ball's set high enough, they can get a 3-man block in the middle. You don't see it too often, though.
Again, the 2-man block by Springfield. Yale University called for a lift. Springfield winning the 3rd game in a best-of-5, 15-8. And they give Coach Tom Hay a going-away victory. Coach Hay retiring. This is his last volleyball game this year. I'm sure he's quite pleased. Springfield winning the 1st game, as we see here, 15-13. The 2nd game, 15-6. And the final game in the best-of-5, 15-8. Coach Tom Hay going away a very, very happy man. Earlier this evening, he was presented with a bouquet of balloons before the start of the match. Coach Hay, having been here for 22 years, again amassing a combined record of 407 wins, 178 losses, and 17 ties for a 69.6 winning percentage. That's both men's and women's coaching over a 22-year period. Here we get to see Coach Tom Hay. I'm sure they have something planned for him because he's running off to his office. I think there was a couple of water bottles that might have been open, and they were going to pull a giant move on him.
Yeah, the old Gatorade.
They still might catch up with him a little later on and put him in the shower. Well, and I must say that it's been quite a pleasure working with you over this volleyball season.
It's been a pleasure here, Tim.
This is Tyrone Sullivan saying, for Lynn Cuddy saying good evening, and for the rest of the Continental Sports crew, it's been quite a pleasure working volleyball here at Springfield College, and we'd like to say good evening.
Hi there. Guess I'm going to have to get used to being universally loved and admired. I can tell you're probably saying to yourself right now, am I really sitting next to Ward McCarthy, host of Springfield's hottest new game show? Well, yes, you are. Yes, we're certainly causing a lot of excitement on After the Fact, what with all the great services and nifty prizes we're giving away, and not to mention the fact that it's just darn fun to play. Yes, the show's probably going to become so big that I won't even be able to come to the park without getting mobbed by hordes of crazed fans. Ah, the price of fame.
Excuse me. We were wondering,
Yes?
did you know that you have a piece of food stuck between your teeth?